Alright, you magnificent bastards. Today, I'm diving headfirst into something a bit different. I've been thinking, what if we pit the Dark Souls protagonist, the Chosen Undead, against one of the big boys from Warhammer 40k? Could this unholy mashup work? Could our stoic, endlessly dying friend from Lordran somehow take down a bloody space marine? Before you roll your eyes and start shouting, "This isn't lore accurate," relax, you pedantic bastards. I know this is mad, but it's a laugh, and if you're here, you're probably just as unhinged as I am. Now, because our Dark Souls hero doesn't have set stats, we're going full tilt. Level 713, fully decked out in endgame gear. Yes, that's actually possible in game. It just takes a metric fuck ton of time grinding. But hey, we're not here to do things half-arsed. Now, why am I doing this? Well, I've been playing a lot of fucking Dark Souls recently, dying a lot, swearing even more, and it's got me thinking. How would this Grimdark little bugger fare against the relentless monstrosities of Warhammer 40k? And I'll tell you right now, it's gonna be bloody. So grab your Estus Flask, polish your Power Armour, and let's bloody go. Right now, before we dive in, yes, I know, this is an old video, a relic from the dark ages of the early days of Killer Studios, back when I was still figuring out how not to sound like a drunken servitor in a tin can, and I didn't have the editing power of the Omnissiah behind me. The mic, shit. The pacing, questionable. The script, actually bloody solid, even if I do say so myself. See, this might be rough around the edges, but it's one of the best things I made when I was starting out. And now that the channel has grown thanks to all you magnificent bastards, I figured it was time to give this another proper swing. New title, new thumbnail, same glorious carnage. We've just smashed past 500 subscribers, and the new goal? Thousands! A glorious army of lore-hungry degenerates riding this warp-touch rocket ship straight into the eye of madness. So if you enjoy chaos, comedy, and watching me mentally unravel over fictional war crimes, then like the video, click that big red button, and slap the notification bell like it owes you money, and help me bring this channel to the next bloody level. Right, enough talk. Grab your Estus Flask, reload your bolter, and prepare for one of the most wildest matchups I've ever covered. The Dark Souls champ, the Chosen Undead. This purse sword has been kicked, stabbed, and burned, crushed, and cursed so many times, it's a miracle he hasn't just packed it in and gone hollow. But here's the thing, he gets back up every bloody time. That's his biggest strength, sheer mindless persistence. The Chosen Undead isn't just tied to a single weapon. He's got everything from the Swahanda, a sword that's so massive it looks like it was stolen from a Final Fantasy character, to the Moonlight Greatsword, which hits like a magical freight train. Not to mention the iconic Black Knight weapons, which dishes out damage faster than a pissed off Glaswegian in a pub fight. He can wield shields that turns Dragon's Breath into a mild inconvenience, like the Heavenly Great Shield. Pair that with the full Heavenly Armour, and he's practically a walking brick wall, albeit one with the mobility of a drunk toddler. Or he could go for the light armor, like the black leather set, making him a dodging machine. This lad can throw fireballs, summon massive soul spears, and even turn himself into an ethereal force of chaos. Whether it's pyromancy, sorcery, or miracles, he's got a tool for any situation. The Great Chaos Fireball alone could light up a small city block, and let's not forget Wrath of the Gods, a literal shockwave of death. Now onto some of his strengths. The Chosen Undead can roll through more attacks than anyone reasonably should. Even in full armor, he's springy as all hell. Death is a minor inconvenience, a quick trip to a bonfire, and he's back. That's a cheat code in any universe. No matter what the opponent brings, the undead has something in his arsenal to counter it. Some of his weaknesses. Let's be real, a medieval sword and fireball are cool, but they're not exactly the ideal weapons against power armor and bolters. No bonfire nearby, no resurrection, and good luck building one in the middle of a battle. His actual strength depends on who's controlling him. If it's someone who rolls off a cliff for fun, he's screwed. Now for the big lad, the Space Marine. These genetically engineered warriors are the Emperor's Angels of Death. They're 7-foot tall tanks that can sprint faster than Usain Bolt, punch through concrete, and can withstand a nuclear blast. Oh, and they're armed to the teeth with advanced weaponry that kind of looks like magic. The weapons and skills. The bolter is a quintessential Space Marine weapon. It doesn't just fire bullets, it fires mini rockets. These babies explode inside the target, turning enemies into fine mists. The Chosen Undead's heavenly armor won't stand a chance. Chain swords. Imagine a sword, but with a chain blade. It's brutal, messy, and exactly the kind of weapon you'd expect from a galaxy-spanning war machine. Power fists. The oversized gauntlets can crush tanks if a Space Marine lands a hit with this. The undead's going to need more than a bonfire, he'll need a bloody miracle. Power armor isn't just protective, it's a full-on life support system. Strength enhancement and targeting computer, all in one. It's like a tank that hugs you back. Strengths. Speed, strength, endurance, you name it, a Space Marine's got it dialed up to 11. Space Marines aren't just brutes, they're highly trained warriors who know how to exploit weaknesses. They're fanatically devoted to the Emperor, they don't back down, they don't surrender, and they definitely don't care about your feelings. Weaknesses. Overconfidence. They're used to winning. That's why they might underestimate an opponent who doesn't immediately explode. Reliance on their gear. Without their power armor and weapons, they're still superhuman, but they're a lot less terrifying. And now, what you all came here for, grit versus glory. Let me set the stage. The arena is a post-apocalyptic wasteland, a no man's land of jagged rocks and charred skeletons. A dying sun bleeds across the horizon, casting the battlefield in shades of crimson and shadow. Ash falls like snow, and a bitter wind carries the distant wails of tortured souls. It's a perfect arena for two legendary warriors to settle their grudge. On one side stands the Chosen Undead, clad in his iconic Halval's armor, wielding the colossal Zwahanda. Its blade glints ominously. Across from him, an Ultramarine emerges, towering in his cerulean power armor, a bolter resting easily in one hand, and a chainsword humming with restrained violence. The Chosen Undead is the first to make his move, charging with his Zwahanda raised high. A battle cry tears from his lips. The Ultramarine holds his ground, waiting for the perfect moment. The Zwahanda smashes into the Marine's chestplate. A thunderous clack sends sparks flying. The Marine doesn't even flinch. The Ultramarine counters with a backhand swipe from his chainsword. The teeth bite into the Undead's side, sending chunks of armor flying and blood spraying across the ground. The Undead staggers, but instead of retreating, he rolls backwards with surprising agility, drinking from his Estus Flask mid-motion. Regripping, the Undead changes tactics. He feints high, then swings low, aiming for the weak joints in the Marine's armor. The Marine is forced to step back, but with lightning speed, he smashes his massive boot into the Undead's chest, sending him sprawling. Despite the punishment, the Undead rises again, his eyes burning with a grim determination. The Marine mutters something under his breath in High Gothic. Probably a prayer, or maybe a curse. Realizing brute force isn't enough, the Chosen Undead channels his inner pyromancer. Flames dance in his hand as he hurls a great chaos fireball. The explosion engulfs the Marine, consuming him in a roaring inferno. When the flames die down, the Marine emerges, his armor scorched but intact, smoke curling from its joints. Impressive, the Marine growls, raising his bolter. A storm of bolter rounds tear through the air, each explosive shell detonating on impact. The Undead rolls, dodging with uncanny precision. He summons a soul spear. The ethereal projectile streaks across the battlefield. It strikes the Marine's shoulder, staggering him for a moment. Undeterred, the Ultramarine closes the gap with his chainsword revving. The Undead retaliates with the Wrath of the Gods, a shockwave of raw energy that sends the Marine sprawling. For the first time, the Ultramarine hesitates, realizing his opponent as more than just some old medieval relic. The two warriors, battered and bloody, square off for the final showdown. The Chosen Undead, down to his last Estus Flask, charges relentlessly, his Zwahanda glowing with lightning from a sunlight blade enchantment. The Ultramarine meets his charge head on, his chainsword slamming into the massive blade with enough force to crack the earth beneath them. Sparks fly, and the sound of metal on metal drowns out the wailing wind. In a desperate gamble, the Undead leaps, plunging his lightning spear directly into the weak spot in the Marine's armor. The weapon crackles with a divine fury, forcing the Marine to his knees. But even now, the Ultramarine is not done. With a surge of strength, he grabs the Undead by the throat and slams him into the ground with a sickening crunch. The Undead lies there, his broken body a testament to the power of the Marine. The Marine rises victorious, or so he thinks. Behind him, a faint orange glow flickers. The Chosen Undead stands again, fully restored, stepping out of the bonfire with a renewed determination. The Ultramarine turns, his expression hidden behind his helmet, but you can almost sense his annoyance. What matter of heresy is this? The battle resumes, but the cycle is clear. No matter how many times the Ultramarine defeats the Chosen Undead, the latter keeps coming back. Each time he learns, adapts, and grows stronger. The Ultramarine, while mighty, is ultimately mortal. His armor grows heavy, his movement slow, and his bolter runs dry. The Chosen Undead is unburdened by such limitations, exploiting the Marine's fatigue. In one final, decisive moment, the Undead slashes through the Ultramarine's neck joint, severing head from body. The great Astartes collapse, his mighty form finally stilled. My verdict: the Ultramarine is a god among men, a living weapon, and an unyielding force. But the Chosen Undead isn't just a man, he's an idea. A representation of persistence, grit, and the refusal to quit, no matter how insurmountable the odds may be. With infinite respawns and a growing arsenal, and experience of felling gods and monsters far more terrifying than an Ultramarine, the Chosen Undead claims victory. And there you have it, folks! An epic battle of endurance, grit, and downright bloody madness. What do you think? Did I get it right? Or is the Ultramarine getting the short end of the chainsword here? Let me know in the comments. And if this video gets enough likes, views, and I get plenty of subscribers, I might just do an animation of this. So if there are any artists or animationers out there who watched this video and really enjoyed it, go into my Discord and maybe we can get chatting. Preferably for free, because right now I'm not making any money for this. For the love of God, please like and subscribe so this stuff can happen. Otherwise, I can't do any of this stuff. But if it does happen, I will make an animation. But I hope you enjoyed the video. And remember, praise the sun, light that bonfire, and don't go hollow. I'll see you in the next one, you bloody legends. Have a killing day.